Hey there. So it looks like we're ready to have another Mercury retrograde situation. Happens a few times a year. And I'm not an astrologer. I am an energy healer. So I pick up on the energy of things. I am a tarot reader. And what I'm going to do is pull some tarot cards for each of the signs to actually show you what the energy can be like, or what you need to be aware of, or what you need to double down on, depends on the cards, for this Mercury retrograde. So here's the thing. If you know your birth chart, which means if you know the time of your birth and where you were born, you can easily figure out, use a site like astro.com to figure out your birth chart so that you can find out what your rising sign is. It's also known as your ascendant sign, because that might be affected more with the Mercury retrograde than your sun sign, which we all know our sun sign. Now, I will put timestamps for all of the zodiac readings. So read for your sun, moon, and rising sign if you want. You can hop around to get directly to that. And before I do that, in case you don't get all the way to the end, please, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. It actually helps my channel. And if you have a comment, want to share a takeaway, I would love to hear it as well. Let's connect, okay? So let's start out by first talking about Mercury retrograde. Very simply, it's not a negative thing. It's just telling you the energy is slowing down and moving backwards. This is the perfect opportunity to revisit things that didn't quite work out in the past the way you wanted them to, or you stalled out on something and it's just been sitting there in limbo. This is the perfect time to actually dust it off and start working with it again. So I'm always looking at what to be aware of and what to double down on as far as energy goes. So let's jump into Aries to start. So if your sun, moon, or rising is Aries, let's pull a card and see what we need to know for this Mercury retrograde. And you have the Queen of Swords. So this Mercury retrograde is in the sign of Leo. So this could have to do with what lights you up, your ego, how you show up, how you identify your outer self with that. And that's definitely rising sign energy, really. That's what the face we show the world more so than our sun sign. So with this Queen of Swords, what I pick up for you, Aries, is that if you've had some ideas that you might have been talking yourself down from, this is the opportunity to go back and revisit those ideas to see where you can actually build on it and grow from it. Because I think it's important for you to trust the ideas you have and give yourself more time to just kind of stew in the juices of your imagination and what lights you up. Why did you write this thing down? What is it you actually want to accomplish? Let's pull a different tarot deck to go with that, a different tarot card. Well, see, you have the Two of Cups. So that to me is also saying that this is the time for you to really trust your connections, trust the relationships you've already built, and maybe even be aware. There might be some that you've been wondering, is this going anywhere? Is my soul being fed? Is my heart being supported? Now that would be, somebody who's either a friend or someone you want to get to know more intimately. And you might be sitting on the fence a little bit, or things have kind of slowed down. So this is the opportunity, using that Queen of Swords card and the Queen of Swords energy, is to really be aligned with what feels right to me. Let me go deeper into what I think, or what thoughts have been holding me back from stepping further into this relationship. Hey, it might not be romantic. It might be partnering with somebody. It might be partnering with just divine energy, whatever resonates with you. So I feel like that is a good thing for you to focus on, Aries. And I'm going to move on to Taurus. So if your sun, moon, and rising are Taurus, let's see what Mercury retrograde energy has for you. You got the Four of Wands. And yes, it is in the sign of Leo. So that's definitely a fire sign. And with that Four of Wands is reminding you to celebrate the little things. You might be looking back and thinking, hey, I just glossed over all of those things that are actually more of a milestone and a bigger milestone than I thought. So then you kind of get into your head a little bit and you're like, well, I didn't really, it's too late now. Well, it's not. This is the time to go back. Maybe grab your journal, go sit in a comfortable place, go to the beach, go wherever that feels comfortable to you and start writing down some things that you've done in the past and how good you feel about them now. Because I think that's an important thing for you to build the foundation moving forward, especially once Mercury goes direct. You're going to have more of a healthy ego and more of an alignment with honoring what you've done and allowing yourself to celebrate yourself. And also to realize that these little milestones can be celebrated in the moment, in the future. So you don't have to look at it from oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? Let's pull one more here. You have the Ace of Wands, so much Wands energy. And this is showing you that in looking back in this retrograde energy, looking back at all the fun things you've done or the things you've listed down that you want to do, start thinking about them a little more like, I wonder what I can do with that energy now. I wonder moving forward what I can do to bring these adventures into my life more fully. But you can definitely sit there and stew in the juices of it. How good does it feel? What would it feel like? How would you celebrate once you've accomplished these things? Dream the dream. This is the time to sit there and just wallow in the energy of it. And you can still take action, especially if it's action you tried to take before, but it didn't quite pan out the way you want it to. Revisit that during this retrograde. It's the perfect time to reset and redo, and you might have a better outcome, or you'll at least feel better that, oh yeah, maybe that isn't what I want to do, but you revisited it and you were able to go back and realize that now. It's kind of like our own little personal time machine going back to the things that we've kind of put off to the back burner. All right, putting those aside, we are going to move on to Gemini next. So let's see if your sun, moon, and rising is Gemini. Well, let's see what comes up. You have the Nine of Cups. Beautiful. This is the perfect time for you to realize you're more abundant and you're more intuitive and you're more in tune with your emotions than you give yourself credit for. Maybe you're all up in your head trying to see things from a what did it physically bring into my world point of view. When realistically, how we feel, that is definitely a stronger vibration than just having physical things as the reward, as the trophy. How we feel matters so much more, and we're more in alignment with what then makes us continue to feel good or gets in the way and lowers our energy or makes us feel bad. Like knowing yourself, definitely, the more you know yourself, the quicker you're going to determine those things, and you'll be able to make decisions based on, does it feel good or does it not? Let's pull one more. You've got the Two of Wands. So this is definitely you wishing that you are doing more than you have been. So retrograde is not necessarily about doing new things, but it's revisiting the things you've done in the past or the things you've thought about doing, and maybe give them a whirl, give them a try out, see what you think of this new energy based on your inspiration and letting go of the baggage of, I should have done this all by now. I should have this all in order by now. So that's enough of that, Gemini. But let's move on now to the sign of Cancer. So if you are sun, moon, or rising sign Cancer, Let's see what we have for you. You've got the Knight of Pentacles. So this Mercury retrograde is a perfect opportunity for you to trust that the path you're on may not be the swiftest, but it is showing you proof that you're doing what you need to do. Maybe you've been go, go, go so much that you haven't had the time to just sit and wallow in the energy that you've created. Maybe you've had this spark of a romance in your life and it's been a whirlwind and you haven't had a chance to really sit and take inventory of what it's created in your life. Are you done? Mojo's having a time. Are you is your sun sign Cancer? I don't know. So let's pull a clarifier for that and to just see what that can bring for you. Because I think it's Mojo, your timing is off. No, please don't. No. Shh. We have an agreement. My roommate, Mojo, the lovebird. So let's clarify that Knight of Pentacles for you, Cancer. A lot of wands have been coming up. So we've got the Five of Wands. And it feels like, yes, you've had some conflicting energy. You've been doing activities that have felt like they've been counterproductive. So it's time for you to go back and look at what's been going on in your physical world this past few months and just see where you can start to plan. So this is planning because it's Mercury retrograde. It's not about taking new action. It's about retaking action you've done in the past. So where can you be a little more efficient with the actions that you've been taking? Because that's going to allow you to realize that you can conserve your energy. There's some things you can drop. There's other things you can double down on. All right. So let's put that aside and we're going to move on to Leo. So we got Mercury retrograde coming in your sign. So this is sun, moon, rising. Okay, that one fell out. Oh, you have Temperance. Yeah, it feels like this is a good time for you to be really balancing things out. And what I'm picking up is that you might have not been feeling really good about the results that you've been getting. So Temperance to me is all about alchemy. It's all about turning one thing into another. It's about shifting your energy. So in order to take this Mercury retrograde time to discover where you can shift the actions you've been doing along with the way you've been feeling and the thoughts you've been thinking about things at this time. Like it feels to me like there might have been some negative stuff going on and it's all like internal, intellectual stuff, mental energy. And this is the perfect opportunity to kind of look back over it, take inventory of maybe it wasn't quite as bad. Maybe some things did kind of turn out, or hey, that was a really sucky situation, but here's what I've learned from it. So let's pull another card. Wands galore in this full reading. So you have the Page of Wands. And yeah, it's like we don't always know when we're new at doing something and new at an activity. We're not always going to know the results or how it's going to show up. So we have to be willing to just be new at something. Okay, we're not going to be perfect at something all the time. And maybe flubbing up makes us feel like we're embarrassed or makes us look bad. But from the outside in, if you handle it gracefully, you have the opportunity to let others see that, yeah, it's okay to make mistakes because we all do it. Yeah, we don't all want to be on America's Funniest Home Videos, but at the same time, if we laugh it off a little bit, if we shift that energy, use that Temperance energy to shift it into something better, shifting into something that's going to be stronger in the long run. So when Mercury finally goes direct again, you're going to have more energy to focus on the things that are really going to make a difference for you. All right. So there you go, Leo. We are going to move on now to the sign of Virgo. So if you're sun, moon, and rising, is Virgo. Let's pull a card and see what energy is for this Mercury retrograde. You have the Hermit. So this is really a good time to create some habits for yourself so you can stop putting your energy out into the world and be more focused on what lights you up on the inside. That's a place that's going to just recenter you and ground your energy and give you the inspiration you need to really start to complete whatever it was you started at the beginning of the year. You know, we've got 6 months left before the year ends. So I have a feeling you want to check some things off your list, right? Let's pull one more here. Wands galore, I'm telling you. So we've got the King of Wands. This is really trusting that you know the actions you need to take, but sometimes we need to take a pause first. Sometimes we just need to gather our energy. We need to know what to let go of. We need to know what we should double down on. And you know yourself best, but you're not going to know it by continuing to just be a firecracker and take off and do stuff. You need to sit and contemplate. You need to feel what it feels like to be you in your life now and focused on what can you let go of that has been draining your energy so that you have the fuel and the inspiration and the energy to continue with the projects you want to create in your life. All right, so that was for you. And now we're going to move on to the sign of Libra. So Libra, sun, moon, or rising sign. What do we have? You've got the moon. This is a good time for you to actually go deep into your intuition and maybe visit the things. What comes up for you when I first say that? Is it something positive? Is it something negative? Because I think it could be either one for any one of you. It's a general, obviously, reading, collective reading for all Libras. So it's about finding that balance. If there's too much shadow stuff going on, you need to find the light, and vice versa. So it is about finding that balance, that ebb and flow, and also trust that cycles can show more energy or less energy. It really depends on when it's happening. So with this Mercury retrograde, it feels like this is really a good time for you to just honor a slowdown and find a way, especially in the chaos of the coming. And I don't mean that I'm predicting anything bad, but as we scramble to get to the end of the year, completing the things we want to complete, checking the things off our list, you want to also be mindful of the energy that is coming forward. You know, maybe take a look at a moon calendar to see where the best time for you to take action is and the best time for you to just slow down and have an inner reflection. I think this is a perfect opportunity to be more in tune with that energy if that aligns for you. Let's pull another card. If it's a wands, I won't be surprised. And now it won't be because I said that. It is a wands. I think I've got all of the wands today. So it's the Three of Wands. Yeah, this can sometimes be seen as you've already made the plan and now you're just waiting for the right time to jump in. So usually with this card, I like to say, it's telling you, just go for it. Quit waiting. But this is a Mercury retrograde energy reading. So this is saying that, yes, it's good to just sit and wait for the timing to be right. And I'm really picturing when the moon is affecting the tide or it's affecting the ebb and flow of a wave, and you want to time it just right so you can hop over that wave and get further into the ocean. So you need to be aware of the cycles and the timing of it, so you know when will be the right time. And you're not going to really be able to discover that at a moment's notice and try and rely on your intuition all the time, because it's good to do that, but you have to trust it. If you don't, and you're like, well, maybe this time I'll trust my intuition, and just kind of fling yourself into the ocean, it's my example, you really need this time. It's telling me to tell you, take the time to get to know your own energy, your own cycles. Now, if you're a journaler and you can look back on some of the times where your energy was really high or your energy was really low, and look at the dates and look at what was the moon phase at that time, you're going to really be more in tune going forward with the moon energy. And maybe if you've got some major things planned, this is the opportunity for you to kind of look at the calendar and where the moon is and really discover the best, most auspicious and energetic time for you to take action. So there you have it. Now we're moving on to Scorpio. So if you're Scorpio sun, that's me, moon or rising, let's pull a card for you. We have the Fool. Yay. So when we finished something and the cycle comes around and we're starting something new, it's always because we're not doing it from a brand new perspective as a new human being. We don't need to learn to walk again. We already know, but we're starting something new from where we are now. And it's always good to take a moment before you fling yourself off the cliff like the Fool, the hero, is to just determine what the energy has been like so far. And what did you love? What kind of made you more tired? What was fearful to you? What inspired you? Knowing all of these things is going to help you know when to use that energy to its fullest. Let's pull another card to go with that. And I know, like, the Fool is just like, just go, just take the step. Nothing's going to happen until you leap, because that's when the net appears. But we're in Mercury retrograde right now, and that's what this reading is about, is the energy of it. And so to me, it's saying this is the time where it's okay when you're starting something new to really kind of get a lay of the land to start. I think this is our first our first cups. Or yeah, we've been getting lots of wands as the second card. So this is the Knight of Cups. Love where you are. Trust that everything is opening up for you, or things are closing down because you're not meant to go that way. Cups is about your intuition. The Knight of Cups is about love and sometimes romance. We're our Scorpios. We've got that deep reflective side. So what can you start to focus on? What do you love? What lights you up? And when you can think more clearly, that's when, as the Fool moving forward in this new thing, you are going to decide which step to take next, which stepping stone to step on, because that's going to be the optimum one. You're going to trust your intuition a lot more. You're going to trust it because you know what you like. So the opposite of that is usually what you don't like. So your energy will then be more efficient as you move forward into this next cycle after Mercury has gone direct. All right, let's move now on to Sagittarius. So if you're sun, moon, or rising like mine, time to move on. Oh, and of course you got to have two cards. So you've got the Five of Pentacles and the Star. I love that those are together, because the Five of Pentacles can often be seen as desolation and hopelessness. Where I say, when it's paired with the Star, to me, it's showing you that we need to feel those things, because then we know what it feels like to feel redeemed or saved, or we trust that we're always looked after. We trust that the Star will shine the light so we know which way to go when it's most dark. And that Five of Pentacles is just reminding us, especially seeing that key leaning against the wall, you're not going to see what's around you that can help you if you don't get out of your own misery and that colored perspective that you have. It's time to stop thinking so inwardly and start focusing more outwardly at what's going on around you. because when we're too focused inward, we have a skewed view. We've only got that one perspective. So let's pull another one. And you've got the Two of Pentacles. It's reminding you that there is always going to be balance. There's ebb and flow. And the contrast is what really helps you feel life and trust life, that everything always works out. But if you're only focused on what went wrong, you're not seeing the gifts of what went right. So this Mercury retrograde energy is the perfect time for you to be more reflective, more willing to see the gifts and the opportunities, especially in those things that happened that weren't good, that really sucked and had you worried or fearful. All right, moving on now to Capricorn. So if Cap is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is for you. We have the Hierophant. So this is about spiritual structure. But I love this Light Seer Tarot deck because it's not the traditional Hierophant. It's showing someone who is embodying their own beliefs, not based on structured or dogma that they've learned over the years. This is based on your soul spirituality and up leveling your own energy. And I feel like this is perfect for you to create, not create, but because it's Mercury retrograde, it's like, look back at the habits you used to do. Maybe you used to meditate and now you don't anymore, or you used to do it longer and now you don't. Or you used to journal and you've kind of stopped. So first of all, let go of, yeah, but I don't do that anymore. And then that little fine print of judgment. It's okay. Let it go. We shift and ebb and flow. Like there's biorhythms of energy all the time. And we let things go, even if we enjoyed it. And we're kind of like, what the fuck? Why did I stop? But things happen. And that's okay. So Mercury retrograde is time for you to just kind of take stock and go, yeah, I really want to get back to that. So do it in any little way that you can think of. Do it. And this is not starting something new. This is harnessing that Mercury retrograde energy of backtracking and revisiting and redoing the things that you enjoyed doing that really allow you to feel like you're on the spirit, back on the spiritual journey that you figure you've kind of took an exit on and forgot to continue. And to clarify with that, we've got the Queen of Swords. So yes, this is definitely, be aware of the thoughts that you have. Are they aligning you or are they cutting your energy off? So important for you to allow those thoughts to be shifted or softened to more loving, compassionate, supportive energy for yourself. If we can't be compassionate and supportive for our own selves, what are we putting out to the universe? Don't want the answer to that. You know where I'm going with that. All right, now we're moving on to Aquarius. So if you're Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, this is for you. You have the Lovers. So it feels like there might be taking some inventory on your relationships, and Lovers isn't always romance. This is intimate connections, not in a platonic way as well. You know, people you're close to at work, or your close family, or your close friends. Maybe it's even your colleagues. Like if you're an entrepreneur and you don't really have that work element, this is finding a way for you to remember what it feels like to be connected, to feel supported, to support someone else with that same goal in mind. Let's pull another one. I was half expecting it to be the Lovers in this deck, but it's not. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Because it really feels like when you are in that energy of love and reciprocity and adoration and and just that higher vibration of supporting other humanity, then you really are finding the things that are powerful in your life, that bring you gratitude and bring you comfort in your physical world. And it might seem a little slow, but it's not about doing things to check it off. Yep, it's done. This is about reminding you that this is the path. And the slower that you do go, you are compacting that path to the point that it's really going to be a solid foundation for you to roll back on and move forward on. Mercury retrograde, Mercury direct, like this is giving you the opportunity to just be comfortable wherever you are on the path. That's the last message that wanted to channel. And speaking of the last message, here we are. We're with Pisces. If it's your sun, moon, or rising sign, let's pull you some cards. You have the 10 of Cups. It feels like this is your happily ever after that maybe you've been searching for. And I think if you were to take a few moments and think about your past and the good things that have happened, you realize how much it has shaped your life now. It's shaped how you feel, and you know how to create more of that in your life just by focusing on how you feel. Let's pull another card to go with that, or two. So you've got the 8 of Cups and the moon. And as it sits with that 10 of Cups, it feels like trusting your intuition to know when to walk away from something to keep your energy high, and knowing when it's okay for you to honor your own energy, even if someone else needs the support you have. If you don't have enough to give it, you need to walk away. You're not meant to deplete your own energy at the detriment of your own health, I guess is what I'm saying. So take this time in this retrograde energy to really see where you've been putting your love and attention out to others, but you haven't been receiving it in return. It feels like this is the time for you to kind of go a little low contact so that you can refill your cup. I'm not saying, to ditch relationships and stuff like that. This is about retreating back into yourself so you can determine, take inventory. What is supporting me? What is worth draining my energy for? And, there's very few things in your life that are worth draining your energy for. One of them are your children, of course, but to a point where it's going to feed them as well. And it's a whole different topic. I don't know why I went there, but it'll depend on how this works for you. All right. Well, that's the Mercury retrograde general reading for all signs. Please let me know in the comments what your takeaways are. And if you like the video, giving it a thumbs up is super helpful for me. Thank you so much. We'll see you in another video. Peace.